Hi, thanks for checking out our channel here. This is going to be a how to troubleshoot and repair video of an old Gallagher M800 old style unit. This particular unit was made, or this particular model was made way back in the 80s, early 80s, mid 80s, called a BEV3, BEV3. Same guts as this one, just a different sticker. And it's a Gallagher Snell on there as a distributor for Gallagher back in the day. And sometime in the late 80s, early 90s, they switched up and went to this M800 sticker on here, and they kept that name around to about 2005 when they discontinued it, and you know, that sort of thing. They came out with some other models to take its place. Well, they're still making M800 today as of 2021. It's a it looks nothing like this one. A little black case, about the size of a catcher's mitt, a lot more compact on the inside and stuff. This was old school. This particular model, this is serial number on there. In 1999, Gallagher went to a date code with the serial numbers that the first two digits are the year it was built. But before 1999 or 98, one of the two, they had just a sequential number. It had no date to it at all. So this is at least a 98 or older model. So we're going to get in there and we're going to tear it up and get it fixed. Other information, if you got an old fence charger or electric fencer you want to send us to, work on it, welcome to do it, and send it on in here. We work on any brand, any age. I don't care how old or new it is. I'm going to get in this thing and see what's wrong with it. He's got two of them here. One of them, stuff rolls around on the inside. This one, everything's pretty tight, so hopefully this one won't be too bad. I don't think there's any screws in the front. Nope. So we're going to pop it apart. Set the case off the side. Well, see one problem already. That thing's right there is burnt up. Which when that goes, this goes here, the little black thing underneath there. So we'll have to replace both of those to even get that chance to have it powered up. And this particular board has been replaced in it. Looks like it's a 2005 board, 05, so the board's newer. Capacitor looks to probably be original. This was the Plessy Ducon 40 microfarad. I don't think Plessy Ducons are around anymore. They don't do the pulse grade capacitors anymore. Gallagher uses somebody else, and a lot of people, they don't use Plessy Ducon. They use another brand or style or whatever. So we'll test it real quick. Should be 40 and read 17, so capacitor's no good. So we'll pop that out of there. Check the transformer here in a second. This is initial check. I gotta do a ground fault with it once I get it pulsing and popping again. But we'll go across these two tabs here. This is the output of the, it's reading 15, 16 ohms. It's a little on the high side, I think. You just ran 11. So we might have a problem with the transformer too. Well, let's get a capacitor first. A little loose. Alright, we'll put, because this is a little bit bigger round capacitor than the last one was, so we've got to attach it two ways. I put the double-sided foam there to kind of help hold it, and we'll get a couple of cable ties. The big one, okay, I'll order some more. Put this through like this. Alright, now let's move this off to the side and we'll fix this board. Alright, I gotta wait for my solder iron to heat up. Let's get the desolder braid. Alright, so these two tabs or solder joints here are that little black thing. Got to take that off. And then we've got this burnt up thing here. Now the reason why those things went bad is typically a power surge on the AC side. That's what those things are there to help out with. Occasionally we'll see where we fix one of these boards, send it back a week later, it burns out that part again. Doesn't happen. And it's like, no storms were in the area. I'm like, well, and then you find out that the guy's ground rod was attached to some other ground system or something, and it just caused a chain reaction problem of some sort. I've had one guy had that happen too, and he fixed up his ground situation, and that's we fixed it. I think 2 or 3 times it went back and forth. And I even installed a brand new board at one time, and a week or so later, it came back with that same piece burnt up again on a brand new board. I mean, I told you guys that something is causing this. Isn't a Gallagher Fence Charger problem. This is something with your system. And he ended up looking around, and I think he had his ground system outside was right near the building, and at some point in time someone put a bunch of rolls of metal, like rolls of fence of some sort, laid it out there against the building, and it was against the ground rods that were against the metal fencing that were rolled up, and it was against the metal side of the building. And he said he could hear it over the arcing over there, and he didn't know it. And I guess something with the metal building being grounded, and I don't know, something haywire was going on out there. And he moved all the wire off the rods, cleaned up some stuff, and never had that was 7-8 years ago, 10 years ago or so, and haven't had a problem since. So it's something to do with that. So, but hopefully that guy didn't have the same problem. But usually this issue that these things burn up is usually from lightning, and you replace these 2 parts, and usually the unit goes right back to working. At least the board does. You know, it might have other problems, and if it still won't come on, then we've got a little bit more deeper dive into the board we got to do. All right, bring it back over here. Okay. Well, let's plug it in. All right, it's clicking and pulsing. That's a good sign. .7,000 volts. Let's do a ground fault test, which it's hard to explain without seeing it here, but I got this wire tied to a ground with the outlet, and we're going to hook it right to the ground side. And if the transformer had an internal short in it, it would the light would go out, and the pulse clicking sound would get a lot louder. You see it's clicking the same. You can do it over here too. Sometimes it would cause an issue, but it happens real quick when it happens. As soon as it touches it, boom, it starts acting funny. This one didn't act any different than it did before. So this unit's done. This one's Raring to go. So let's go ahead and, since this was on like a 10-minute video, I'll make a second video here in a second of a second one. Well, hopefully you like this kind of stuff, and this was a nice straightforward repair. I like these ones. These ones are nice and straightforward to do and don't take no time at all to fix this thing. But if it had been more wrong, of course we'd have to dig deeper, but so far so good with this one. So if you got an old fence charger and want to send it in here, we'll be happy to fix it for you.